Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Alana Simone. So first of all, I wanted to welcome you guys in. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. If you have been here for a while, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about, is God pleased with me? And I think this is, really important and a question that a lot of people have. I think that oftentimes when we get on our walk with God and our journey with God and just living a life that is pleasing and honoring to God, sometimes we can get in our head and really ask, like, am I pleasing God? Am I doing am I doing well? Am I doing God? Is God pleased with me? And today I just wanted to talk about this because one thing about God that I love is that he doesn't expect perfection from us. He doesn't expect this like super high level of perfection from us. And so it's a blessing to know that. And it's a blessing to know that, you know, even in the things that we think that we may have failed at and not did our best at, God still looks at it as, a step forward, or that we an attempt of doing something. And so, the question is God pleased with us and pleased with the things that we're doing? And the answer, it's really different for all people, and it really just depends on your walk your own journey and walk with God. But I think for the most part, I think that as long as we are doing our best, and as long as we're doing our best and upholding the things that God has instructed us to do, we don't have to be perfect, but as long as we're doing our best, we're taking steps each day. We're reading our Bible maybe a little every day. We're maybe starting incorporating praise and worship music into our daily life. We're starting to maybe not do drugs anymore. We're starting to maybe pick new friends. Like, it's little stuff that we think is so little, but to God that's so big. He sees the things that we're doing to try to change. He sees the little attempts that we think are so little and so small. He sees them as so big. He sees them as like, wow, they're really trying their best. They're really doing their best. I know that was hard for them to give up that friend. I know that was hard for them to give up that addiction to pornography. I know that it was hard for them to give up, the drugs. I know that was hard for them to stop sleeping with that guy that they just been so attached to for years. I know that was hard for them, but they did it. And I'm so proud of them because I knew, the weight. I knew how much it took them. The willingness for them to even want to give it up. Wow. Thank you. God really sees these little things that we do. We think that it's like, not good enough, and that we maybe give up an addiction, or we may do all this stuff, but then we may give up an addiction, but we're not reading the Bible every day. And it's like, oh my God, like, I'm not doing enough. God's not pleased with me. Oh my God. Like, no. Listen, do you know how big that is for you to have given that thing up that you were addicted to, or that you just kept on going back to? Do you know how big that was? Especially when something has had a strong hold on you and a weight on you that you felt like you couldn't let it go, but you did it. Do you know how big and how proud God is of you for letting it go, and for taking steps in order to really try to please and honor him? He appreciates that. He loves that, and he's proud of you because of those things that you do. The little things that we count out, and that we think that, okay, because we may have did that, but we're not doing this, then he's not. No. It's in the little things. And really it looks little, but that's a really big thing. If you ever struggle with addiction, or you struggle with, letting go of toxic friends, whatever, like, everybody's struggles is different. But these are big things to God. And I think that we get so wrapped up and caught up in feeling like we're not pleasing him, and we're not doing if we're not doing every single thing right, or on schedule, or, we just have so many like things in our head that we think that we got to do, but like we discredit and discount the things that we do. Those little things that we think are little are really big to God, and He's really pleased with that. And so we need to start, really understanding that it's not really hard to please God. God is so easy to please. And I think oftentimes it's our human perspective and human minds that make us feel bad, and that make us feel like we're not doing enough. We're not giving enough. We're not, doing all these things when it's not as big of a deal as we're making it seem. So, don't beat yourself up about if you feel like you're pleasing God or not. Like, we want to make sure in the things that we're doing, we are honoring and pleasing God. But we have to look at the things that we may not think are like big, but these things really are big. These things really are the things that please God, and really He appreciates and loves, and He really sees the effort that you're making and letting things go in your life, really trying to find new friends, really even picking up the Bible one day out of the week, or once a year. Oh my God, like, to somebody that's like a sin in itself if you only picked up the Bible once a year, okay? But to God, that's like, oh my God, they thought of me at least once this year. Wow. That's amazing. Like, the perspective of God is very different than the perspective of man. And when we start understanding that, we can start really feeling the grace and the understanding that He has for us, and realizing we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be, these people that are like that feel like we're not doing enough, because we are. It's the little things that we discredit and discount that God sees as big, and that really, He really, really, counts as pleasing unto Him. So just think about that. Just know that, like, in any moment you feel like, am I doing enough? Is God pleased with me? Just think of the things what steps are you taking to move forward to really please and honor God? Are you, maybe finding new friends because you realize your friends were toxic and they were really, getting you into things that really weren't the best? Are you breaking free from an addiction, because you realize that that's not something you should be doing, and now you're, getting help for that. You're seeking help, or you broke free from it. It's big. That's big, okay? All those things are big. But it looks little to, people, when, like, especially people who are like, if you're the one that's breaking free, you don't think of it as big because you're just like, oh my God. But it's a big deal. It's a big thing, because you once did something and now you're not. So you're making a change. You're like willingly wanting to change, and that's a huge thing. So we got to really look at these things and be like, okay, wow. It's in the little things. It's in the big things. It's in the things that we just think are like, why would God be pleased with that? Because listen, He's pleased with that. He's pleased with the little things you do, the big things you do. As long as He sees that you're making a change, and that you're becoming willing to do something different. You're now, wanting to try something different. He's like, okay, that's amazing. I'm proud of you for that, because I knew once you weren't doing that. I knew once you were so submerged into the things you were doing that you didn't really want to care. You didn't want to hear nothing about God. You didn't want to do nothing. But now that you're making a change and you're willing and you're wanting to really pursue your relationship with God, He's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Like, I literally am so excited right now, because they're like making these little big steps, and it's really, I'm so pleased with that. And so like, it's just amazing when you know that God is pleased in the little things and the big things. And any attempt that we make, we should know that God is pleased, and He's just really appreciative and grateful that you're making steps forward, and that you're wanting to change, because He knows that it makes Him feel good, but He knows that in the end, you making these changes in your life will cause your life to become better, will cause you to become a better person overall. And that's the real blessing in itself. So just know that God is pleased with the big things, the little things, whatever steps we're taking in order to just become better people, and to really do, and what we are doing to really just do our best to live for him, and just start making little changes. It starts with the little changes. Little changes become big changes over time. And then, you know, you look up one day and you done made so many changes, and it's because you didn't discredit the little things, but you allowed them to be things that pushed you further. And so what once looked little now became bigger as time went on, and you just started making changes after changes after changes until your life is completely transforming. You're like, oh my God, this is a new person. I don't even know who this is. So, you know, don't be feeling bad. Don't be beating yourself up. Don't be like living to this like people who be in their head too much. They be thinking of, like, they just get so wrapped up in the things that really hold us back. Just know that any step that you take, and any step that you take to move forward, to really start making a change in your life, God is pleased with that and he appreciates that. So, you know, continue to keep on going. You know, making changes in your life sometimes isn't the easiest thing to do, but let me tell you, in the end, it's the best decision that you can make. In the end, you will look back and be so grateful that you really decided to start making the necessary changes to really live a life that pleases and honors God, because it not only, you know, benefits God, it benefits you overall. You will be the person that benefits the most with the changes that you decide to make and going God's way, and really just, you know, living a different lifestyle that will give you everything that you're desiring. And so, you know, just be encouraged today. Just continue to move forward today, and know that God loves you and that he's proud of everything that you've done so far, and even everything that you're going to do. Like, just be encouraged and know that any little thing, any big thing, anything that you have done, even to, you know, at this point in your life, any changes you have made, anything you have had to let go, God sees it, he knows it, and he appreciates it so much. And so just continue to keep on going. Continue to celebrate the you know, the victories and the wins in your life, because when we let go of things that weren't the best for us and were really holding us back, we gotta make sure that we're celebrating ourselves and celebrating these accomplishments, because they're huge. You know, it's so time, it's, you know, like, when you're in things, you gotta understand that to come out of it, it could take a lot of strength. And just know that you gotta be encouraged to know that you are doing something good, and for you, and that's a blessing. That's amazing. So keep on going, keep on being encouraged, and just know that God is so pleased with you, and he loves you, and he sees you, and he really appreciates everything that you have done, whether people have seen it or not. You know, it's appreciated. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really pray that this video encouraged you today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.